In a studio that's in a basement comes the epic story of how two friends changed the future of the movie podcast game forever. The reviews are in. Boys Life magazine gives the High Side podcast 4.5 acorns. The Daily Bugle says, these guys are super legit. And Pope Francis declares the podcast as life-affirming. From the kid who tried to get smart with David Spade and got fucking old.
You're still out. You're still bad.
And the guy who can name all four Baldwin brothers.
Alec, William, Daniel, and the baby boy, Stephen.
Live from the studio of his parents' basement. The Have You Seen It podcast.
Welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. My name is Mason Knight. That over there is Cash Krause. Today, this is our movie news
Yes,
episode.
sir. Yes, sir.
Episode 215.
215, and what an episode. It
is going to be a doozy,
It's going to be a
friend.
doozy, I'll tell you that. Oh, yeah. What an episode that you chose to listen into.
Yeah, I mean, out of all of them, this was the one you decided to listen to. You're doing pretty well
Oh,
off.
yeah.
You're starting your day off right.
That's always how Mr. Rogers always started his episodes. He always made it seem like you tuned in. Out of all the episodes you could have tuned into,
This was the
this
best
one is
one.
going to be fucking fire. And they were always the same episodes.
Of course.
Basically. They
Always,
were-
every day.
Nothing was ever more
To
extravagant.
be fair, though, the news that we do deliver is always new and fresh.
That's true. Always. We keep it fresh up here. That's
You
what we
know,
do.
We have the occasional Star Wars talk, but other than that,
Which will not be fresh.
It will not be
And
fresh.
occasionally we'll talk about a movie that was 30 years old.
Yes,
and
we
we'll
will.
dive deep into that. Or even politics that happened 20 years ago.
Yeah,
It has
exactly,
nothing to do with film at all. But besides that, we keep it fresh here. We keep it fresh. And Mason, I'm going to go right off the bat. I'm going to get you a story that's going to get you your blood boiling.
I have this story too as well.
Well, I
That's
want to
funny
bring
we
it
are
up
leading
before.
This off.
I want to bring it up before you have to bring it up and go on a crazy rant.
Yes,
But
go ahead.
it's over.
Officially,
And that's
finally.
the headline.
Yeah,
It is
it's over.
The tyranny that has been MoviePass has been defeated.
We have defeated corruption.
Somewhere,
defeated the
some
swamp.
guy went and defeated, took down the dragon that is
The most evil company of all time. MoviePass.
It is over. They have
It's done.
filed bankruptcy, which usually means it's over. The entire board has stepped down. They've filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy, which isn't Chapter 11. I don't
not
know.
Chapter 11.
I don't know the different chapters in bankruptcy.
There's a lot
I
of
never
chapters,
read that book.
I guess.
Yeah, I
I
thought there was
never
only.
read the book of
I thought
bankruptcy,
Chapter
but
11 was always the worst. That means you have no money. So Chapter 7, maybe
They're
that
still
means there's a
collecting.
chance.
Yeah, that means for all those people still getting charged for MoviePass.
I think they just, but man, what a crazy ride it's been.
You know,
I will
from
never-
going to one of the most beloved companies for a year
Yes.
to being one of the most hated of all
I will
time.
never forget the summer of 2018.
Yep.
When I was seeing
We'll start-
9 movies a day.
Exactly.
And-
There's going to be a song written about the summer of 2018.
I'll never forget it, man. What a time. What
It's great.
a time. It was
It was-
wild.
it was,
what, we were paying $9 a month or something at
and
one
we
point?
literally saw 30 movies a month.
Yep.
And I went and saw Star Wars 5 days
Yep.
in a row because
Yep.
I was like, wow, yeah, I'll do this for
Yeah.
sure. $10 a month.
It was wild, man.
Crazy
It
times. It was
started
Wild
out-
Wild West.
Well, it was a roller coaster, that fucking company. It started off $50 a month. Even that was a good price at that time.
And then they went to what, 25?
Well, no, they went, and then they went down to like $9.
$9
And they're
a
like, people are going to buy this, but they're not going to use it. Like
yeah,
a gym
no,
membership.
they'll never
They're
go
using it
to
like
a
once a
movie.
week.
Yeah.
Big mistakes. People have no idea
Stupid.
how cheap Americans are. If there's money to be made on something, then
We
we'll
will get
figure
our
it out.
money's worth. Yeah.
We'll figure it out, and we will milk that
It's like that
until
guy.
until the company goes bankrupt.
Huh?
That is
It's like
what
that
we
guy
do.
or gal who goes to a buffet and specifically tries to eat whatever their price was.
Oh
their
yeah, and
price
sits
point,
there all
then
day,
some.
and he
Yeah.
sits there all day. Yeah, exactly.
It's the same way with movies.
That's what we did. We just fucking milked that company until there was nothing left.
I
And
would go and watch 3
it
movies
forced
in a
them.
day.
Yeah, it forced them to do some shady business practices.
The most shady I've seen.
like just starting up your membership after you canceled it for like months. You just go on there and be, oh, they just
Oh, they're
They
still
restarted
charging
for
me.
me.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, yeah. So let me cancel this again.
Again, and then
Confirm, cancel. But
and now you
also-
can't cancel. You
Oh,
gotta
no,
call into some fucking guy in Norway or some shit.
Well, and then on the app, it was like confirm your cancellation, and then there was a little checkbox hidden in the far right corner that's like, no, really.
And then when
really
you tried to
confirm
press
your
it, the
confirmation.
checkbox would move.
Would
and
move
you
away,
would just
and you'd have to chase
remember.
it.
Yeah, and then you just end up. Yeah, they were doing some shit.
It really was shady. Like, we joke around about it, but it was one of the most disgusting things I'd ever seen from a company as far as how they rip their people off.
There's some companies that do a lot of like slave labor, we should say.
Or, you
Yeah, a
know,
lot of
put
that-
Teflon in the water system.
Yeah, or poison or but chemicals. Yeah. So as far as business practice, yeah, it's pretty shady that maybe they
how
charge
about
you
this?
$10.
Let me rephrase that. Maybe the most shady in your face.
Yeah.
Because they weren't trying to hide it at all.
But I think
they never,
like, yeah.
there were no PR.
But I think
coming
like
out.
Nestle is like taking water from countries
They
that don't
are.
have a
They
lot
are.
of water, just starving
Taking the
entire
water
civilizations. So I think they're start.
business practices, but this is definitely
Shit. Fuck. I accidentally hit that.
Are we okay?
No, we gotta,
Restart?
no, we're good.
Oh.
Now we're back on. I'll just use the audio from the thing.
Oh yeah. But yeah, it was shady for sure.
Definitely was. Yes.
Shady, but again, I think it was like one guy running that at the end. I think it was just the CEO just doing it all.
Uh huh.
But yeah, I liked it. I want to even write a movie about. It's like Ray Kroc, you know, the guy, the McDonald's guy.
Yes.
He was a piece of shit, but a savvy businessman.
Very sad.
MoviePass lasted way longer than anyone thought it was going to be. The business plan made no sense.
It didn't make any sense
everyone
at all.
thought like, how is this staying alive more than a week?
We even during the time we were like, how is this going to work? This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Everyone's using MoviePass. What?
Well, no one was more angry than movie theaters,
Yeah, they were pissed about it.
who didn't even know what was going on until like 6 months. Like, what the fuck? We gotta stop this. Like, what the fuck is MoviePass? Yeah,
They're actually not even paying us for these tickets.
they
They're
didn't pay me
bankrupt.
anything. Yeah, they didn't pay me anything. But of course, movie companies
They make a lot of money on
make
the,
a lot
on
of
the
money. And theater
popcorn,
chains charge you
$30 per
300.
popcorn.
They up the price 300% for a fucking popcorn. So I never felt bad.
No.
Never felt bad.
But you
because
think
I
about it,
spent-
that popcorn that you
Yeah.
buy for seriously $12 to $15
Yeah.
costs them 70 cents to produce.
Oh, by ounce, popcorn at movie theaters are worth far more than by ounce of filet mignon or the highest.
Say gold.
No, or the highest
Yeah.
graded meat by ounce because it's insane what they're charging. $50. It's fucking corn.
That's it. Yeah.
Corn is the most abundant source of anything.
And they still try to jag us on that.
Oh, for sure, dude. $15. You're paying that bucket, that plastic bucket, is worth way more than the amount of popcorn in the bucket. Whatever it's worth, 2 cents or whatever.
It's wild.
But yeah, I never felt bad. Anyways, I just wanted to get it off there. Hopefully, we keep saying every time we bring a MoviePass that's the last time we'll ever talk about MoviePass. But
Well, this will be the last time. They filed bankruptcy. It is over.
until we
It
read
is
read
over.
in a year, MoviePass is back. Same guy. He's firing it back up. He's still on the name. It's always alive, Mason.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna pass on that.
All right. Well, what else you got for me?
Yeah, I got some really great news. We got a release date for The Mandalorian Season 2, and it's going to be released in October of 2020. We are going to see The Mandalorian, the second season, this year, Cash. This very year.
Yeah, that's
How
awesome.
excited are you?
I'm super fucking excited.
I'm
I was
stoked.
just trying to look up what because they Disney released a bunch of stuff about saying when the stuff was going to be dropped.
Yes, they did.
But that is that's pretty fucking quick.
They're dropping it in between The Falcon and the Winter Soldier coming out
That's what I
in
was gonna
August
bring
of
up, yeah.
2020. And then also
WandaVision.
WandaVision is coming out December of 2020
Yeah,
as well.
and they
So
ju-
Mandalorian's right in between those two.
Yeah, and they just released all those little teaser trailers
They did.
for WandaVision and even Loki, which
At the
we
Super
haven't-
Bowl.
Yeah, which we haven't even got a release for Loki yet.
No, we haven't.
But we got a little teaser on that, so at least they're making. Yeah, Disney. And another headline that I just saw was Bob Iger said that they're taking a break from Star Wars movies and
for
focusing
2020.
and focusing on television for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, and like
Probably a good call.
did you hear also about the Obi-Wan series getting delayed? Kathleen Kennedy
not.
came out and said that it is now delayed. What are your thoughts about her? Do you think she's doing the right thing here? Do you think it's because of like maybe the story isn't well fleshed out? She wants to take her time because she may potentially be on the chopping block. Like, what do you think?
I don't know. She just won some big fucking lifetime award at the BAFTAs or whatever Kathleen Kennedy did. So I don't think she's hurting too bad of what. So I mean, I'm not a big. I've said it before. I'm not a big fan of her. She brought back the series, but I have not enjoyed the direction that she has taken it at all, as far as the main trilogy and whatnot.
Right.
And it's never. Is that the reason why they delayed it? Is that they said they're waiting to perfect it?
No, they aren't. They just said
doesn't sound like
just said they're
anything Kathleen
delaying
Kennedy
it.
has
No.
ever done.
No, they're just delaying it. We don't know
They didn't
why.
delay fucking, or did they delay Solo? Did they push
Yeah,
it
they
back?
did.
They
Yeah.
did push it
They
back a
pushed
little
that
bit,
back.
but I mean, they
They
didn't.
pushed Rise of Skywalker. Or no, I guess
No,
they,
they didn't
didn't.
push
Never
that.
mind.
No,
No.
they talked about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of her. I think someone else should be in charge of that. Someone that enjoys.
Jon Favreau.
Yeah, someone that enjoys the movies. I think, but
I'm sorry, I had something in my throat there.
but she brought us Mandalorian.
She did. Yes, in all fair. Well, Jon Favreau brought us.
But she
Mandalorian.
hired Jon
She
Favreau.
did hire
So I
Who
guarantee
should
she's
replace
taking the
her.
credit. I guarantee she's taking the credit on that
Oh,
one.
definitely.
But yeah,
Without a doubt.
but I do like that they are focusing on television. I think I think that medium works better for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Even though I love the movies, I just think now seeing it on that kind of stage, television, where you're able to expand 8 episodes or whatever, I think it works better.
Yeah.
I think it works better, yeah.
I agree.
But yeah, so but that's weird. I mean, they only have 2 Star Wars series going right now, and they just said they were not doing movies to focus on those, and now Obi-Wan's delayed.
And they're doing the Clone Wars for one more season and then wrapping that up.
Yeah, well, that's done. It's been done.
Well, yeah, that's when well, that doesn't came out yet.
Yeah, but
last
they're not
season.
like filming a production or
No,
anything
no,
like
no.
that.
Of course
so
not, no.
they're
And all the movies are on hold,
Yeah.
trilogies. So
So
it's
you're
like,
working
what
on
are
2
you
series?
doing?
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, they have some Disney Channel stuff, I'm sure, or whatever. But as far as Star Wars goes, there's nothing else coming out.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't like it. So, Cash, the Super Bowl was this Sunday. The Kansas City Chiefs are your Super Bowl 54 champions. But what I noticed was there are a lot of movie trailers during the Super Bowl. Did you catch that?
I did, absolutely.
Do you know what the most expensive one was?
Movie trailers?
Yeah.
Most expensive trailer?
So there was trailer. So there was No Time to Die, James Bond. There was Fast and Furious 9. There were Minions, The Rise of Gru, Mulan, and Black Widow. Which one out of those do you think would have been the most expensive one?
Most expensive, budget?
No, just commercial. How much they had to pay the Super Bowl.
Oh, well, they all pay around the same amount, right?
Yeah, it was all around the same, but there was one that was specifically.
Well, one of them had to have been whatever the longest one was, I'm guessing.
The 30-second No Time to Die spot was the highest paid one at $5.69 million for that 30-second ad. They paid $5.69 million.
I'm guessing it just goes from where you place the ad, right?
I guess so.
Was it?
Yep.
I can't remember when
Fast
they.
and Furious and Minions were 5.5, so not much different.
Yeah, I can't
And
imagine.
then Mulan
So
and Black Widow 5.3.
I can't remember what No Time to Die was on the fourth quarter or something,
It might have been, yeah.
where people were glued and they we're gonna charge you a little more for this. People might be watching this game actually.
They better make their money back on James Bond 25 because just budget wise, they have spent $250 million just on the budget for this.
Oh, they're gonna make it.
That's just film. That's film production
excited,
before
yeah.
advertising.
I'm so excited.
Well, think about they probably put another 100 million, 150 million into advertising, so they're probably $350, $400 million deep.
Yeah,
so
probably,
they got to make $1 billion.
I think it will. I think it will. I think it will easily make at least 500 million. But every commercial I see, gets me more excited for it. That was probably my favorite trailer of all the trailers released during the Super Bowl. Did you have a favorite?
I did. The Bill Murray one was my favorite. The Groundhog's
I'm in
Day.
movie trailers.
Right, my bad.
But that is by far the best.
It was
trailer for
really
sure,
good, yeah.
Yeah,
And
if you
I
haven't
actually was
seen-
going to talk about that on Movie News, so
Yeah.
here we are.
There we are.
But that was a great trailer, too. I loved all the throwback trailers that they did for like films and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Groundhog's Day was one of them, and they had all the original actors too, which I thought was awesome.
You have
for the
to.
film.
You got to
the
do
mayor
it.
and the annoying neighbor who
Ned
bugged them every day.
Ryerson.
Yeah.
And Ned.
Ned.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was the best one too for anything with Bill Murray in it. Right.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Here's big news. I got to talk about it. Adam Sandler is making
I had
good
this one
on
too.
his threat. He told us, and why didn't we listen?
Why didn't anyone?
God,
listen?
why didn't we listen? He said, if you don't fucking
If he gets
nominate
snubbed,
me
yeah.
for an Academy Award, I'm going to make more movies.
Which we
That's all he said
yeah,
is
that's
more
it.
movies. But he meant he's going to make 4 bad movies. And that's the deal that Netflix wanted.
Mhm.
They said, you're going to make 4 bad movies, you're going to make them for us.
No one else. It's pretty incredible.
We are the king
though.
of making bad movies.
They were talking about numbers and stuff for this, and the Adam Sandler movies on Netflix have reached well over 1 billion hours of watch time. People love The Sandman. I mean, say what you will, but people watch his movies.
Yeah, but people watch a lot of stupid shit that's widely popular. But what's the number tag? They are buying 4 movies from Adam Sandler's
For
company
$275.
for $275 million. So a lot of people are saying this is money he's just straight up getting.
No,
No,
that's not true.
no.
It's the Happy Madison production.
He has to make 4 movies for less than $275 million for them to make a profit.
and that's about $50 million a movie, give or take, with a little bit of room there.
And he's making roughly probably $15 million per movie, which he's worth already $400 million.
Yes.
He's not fucking hurting for money. That's for sure.
Yeah, but he should get paid for his work like anyone else. I mean, do we say the same thing about Leo and Brad Pitt?
Well, no, but that's not what I'm saying.
Oh,
I'm saying
I thought you
he's
said
making.
He should be getting paid.
No, I'm saying he's making even more. Well, he'll be getting paid double for sure. He'll be getting paid money that the movie makes also, and money that he's just getting paid. But I'm just saying out of that, because you got to divide 275 by 4, and then he's getting paid because his.
Yeah, but that goes into the overall budget of each movie, how much you're going to pay cast and stuff.
Yeah.
All of that's accounted for. That's all I meant. Is like all together they're going to have 50 a movie.
Yeah, but I'm saying the
Or
movie,
maybe
the
60.
movie will be roughly made for probably $35 million.
Yes.
because he'll be being paid $15 million, and whatever the other cast, which I can't imagine.
Because like if
they
you,
pay
like
them
Jennifer
much.
Aniston and Murder Mystery, which
Yeah.
I like that one. She probably got paid decent for that.
Yeah, so, but he can make these movies for really cheap. We know that, so he might be making a good fucking chunk of change on this for sure.
Yeah, but you know
it's huge
Netflix
for his
is-
company already.
Yeah, it
200
is.
that's huge for Happy Madison Pictures. That's his production company, correct?
Yep.
But yeah, he said he was doing it.
Yeah, and we never actually talked about this on Movie News, but he did officially get snubbed by the Oscars, or we did talk about that in episode 212. But the more I think about Uncut Gems and like wanting to go see it again, I think it is a travesty he didn't get nominated for what there are.
Yeah.
for best actors. Like he definitely should have been in that category in those talks.
It was tough for
'Cause
sure.
that was a great performance.
He was absolutely. I think he got snubbed too.
Yeah.
I can't remember who else got nominated, but he should have gotten it for sure. I think there was one in there that I think did Antonio Banderas get nominated
For Pain and Glory.
And that movie is probably fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's probably great.
because they're nominated for a lot of films, but I didn't see it. But you got to work him in there somehow.
I want to give you a list. It's not short. It's 15 movies. However, there was an article here on Screen Rant. It says 15 sci-fi movies to watch if you liked Annihilation, and I thought of you immediately. All right, so we're gonna go through this list and let me
You
know
bring
the
up
ones-
Annihilation every podcast makes it seem like I bring it up every time, but
I
you
know, but
bring
I
it
bring it up,
and every
yeah.
time you bring it up, you go, Cash loves bringing
He
up this
loves
movie.
This movie, yeah, he brings it up way too much.
Yeah, but
he
yeah.
just got to talk about it. So at 15, Ad Astra.
Of course, loved
14, I Am Mother, which was on Netflix. I like that.
it. I like that movie a lot.
I
That
was
movie was
shocked.
way better than it should have been.
Yes,
yeah.
I was super shocked about that.
Super
Obviously,
good, yeah.
we did Ad Astra as well. That was a great one. We reviewed both of these. Number 13 is Starfish. Never heard of that one.
I don't think I've heard of that either.
How about Paradise Hills?
No, haven't heard of it. Must be small.
Freaks?
Freaks, I have heard about. That's on, I think, Hulu or Netflix.
Dread. The new Dread.
Oh, New Dread is fucking amazing.
Great.
That
It is one of the most underrated films
out
of all time.
any movie that needs a sequel, it needs to be fucking dread for sure. I think that movie deserves its more than that's kind of sequels you should be making. Sequels that people want to see more of. You want to expand on that story.
Yeah.
Not 10 more Fast and Furious. So I gotta know
Put
about
it
every one
away,
of Dom's
just put it
fucking
away.
Yeah,
We
every
don't
one of
need to see
Dom's
it.
brothers. But
Melancholia,
Melancholia was good.
Coherence,
I haven't seen Coherence.
Inception.
Of course,
No, you've seen that one. Sunshine,
of course.
Under
Seen
the
it.
Skin.
Under the Skin. That's the one with ScarJo.
It is Scarlett Johansson.
Yep.
Yes. And then number 4 is Arrival. Arrival was great.
Well, that's with Denis.
Yep.
Yeah. What's
And then
the...
top 3 are 2001: Space
I
Odyssey.
knew it was gonna be. I could have guessed that.
Number 2 was Stalker. Number 1, Ex Machina. Great
Ex
film.
Machina.
Or Mechina.
Any way you could say it. People say it either way, but yeah, Ex Machina was fucking
Awesome.
and it's the same director that directed Annihilation.
Yeah, imagine that, right? Imagine that. That's the number 1.
Did he put that list
Wow.
together?
I think he did.
But
Let
out of
me go
all
look
the
at
movies, man,
author.
you gotta see this
Man,
one.
I'm telling you, he's like, this is great.
I don't know who
promotion
made.
for
I
my
don't know who
movies.
made that movie, but man, he killed it.
Crushed
he
it.
killed it. But Ex Machina is fucking fantastic. If you haven't seen it, it's so good. But
So,
yeah, that's a good list.
really
that's a
good
real
list.
good list. Those are all mind fucks.
Definitely.
Those are all. Sunshine is more of a no. Sunshine is too, man. All those films are. If you haven't seen Sunshine, the premise is the sun is dying, and these astronauts are gonna go to the sun and drop a nuke in the sun and reignite it. It's classic
Great idea.
science.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. That'll work.
That is a Trump plan for sure. Like that's as
Space
analog
Force,
as it gets.
Space.
Sun's dying. It needs to be hot. What's hot? Bombs.
Nuclear weapons.
Get a
are
guy
hot.
with a flamethrower, put him on the sun, had him light that shit up again. It's simple math.
Simple math.
But the story, then, the story is good, though. It's how they get there. Because I don't think they end up reuniting. Or they do, I think, end up reuniting. Spoiler alert, the sun fires
Awesome,
right
great.
back up.
Yeah.
It's like a heater.
Works just fine now.
Kickstart, yeah.
Oh,
But,
man.
Well, I have some more. We glazed over it, but I have some more Kathleen Kennedy.
Yes.
This is big.
It is big.
This is big for Harrison Ford because it's possibly his last movie.
Well,
We know
this
he's getting
has
up there.
been in development hell since 2016.
Well, he's
I
been
just-
in the
they keep
hospital
pushing it
since
back.
2016.
Well, he
He's
keeps
been- he's
crashing
been-
his planes.
Yeah, they can't
We're
get
talking
it
about
out.
the luckiest man alive. It's Harrison Ford.
And we were talking about Kathleen Kennedy just confirmed head of Disney that Indiana Jones 5 is not a fucking reboot
No, of
because
course
Harrison
it wouldn't
Ford
be a
is only
reboot.
98.
Yeah.
He's not.
Why would you reboot Indiana Jones anyway when he is in Indiana Jones? Even if he passes the whip to someone else,
yep.
it is still Indiana Jones. You don't reboot a movie like this.
I don't care if you gotta fucking roll him in a wheelchair and just wheel him down a tomb or something as a rock follows him.
Yeah.
I want to see him swinging around in his walker doing whatever he's got to do. But it just, yeah, she's saying, don't even think this is a fucking, because Harrison Ford's not going to let them reboot it.
No.
Remember, the only reason he did Star Wars
Was to do Indiana Jones again. And I guess Steven Spielberg's still on board for this movie too, as well.
Why not? Why the hell not? Well, he's
don't know why
always
you
he's
wouldn't
always producing or doing something.
Doing something, yeah.
But
I believe, I may be wrong, but I believe he's directing this one.
I don't doubt it. Didn't
I
he?
thought he
He
was
directed the
directing the
last
fifth.
one that I thought was shitty. Here's the quote: "We're working away, getting the script where we want it to be, and then we'll be ready to go." Kathleen Kennedy said. Harrison Ford will be involved. It's not a reboot. It's a continuation. If you don't remember from the last one, it ended with aliens coming down, vacuuming up a tomb, and then leaving with, I think, Harrison Ford's friend. So how you bounce back from that?
I have no idea.
And we don't forget Shia LaBeouf. I fucking doubt Shia LaBeouf's going to be in this.
You know what? That one was so unforgettable. I don't remember what happened.
You mean so forgettable?
Or forgettable, rather. Yeah. Well, I'm forgetting
It was-
words. It's so
exactly. It
forgettable.
was, yeah.
No, but I don't even remember aliens coming down. And
Well, the whole thing is the Crystal Skull, remember? Because it was Indiana Jones in the
Yes.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
but it was aliens.
The skulls ended up being alien skulls.
Really? Oh, okay.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Doesn't
And
sound great.
And some people say it's not even. Some people say it's not,
It's not
the
even
worst
canon?
one. Well, no, some people say it's not the worst one.
Whoa.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like.
Which one is worse?
I think they say The Last Crusade with Sean Connery.
Really?
Or a lot of people say Temple of Doom.
No, I completely disagree with that.
I swear to God,
That's I think my favorite of all time. Indiana Jones. Maybe.
Yeah, they say that one's the most campy because that one's got the girl, the lady in it.
Well, of course it's campy, but it's fun.
It's got like Half Squad, what his name?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Jones.
Mr. Jones, yeah.
But it's got the guy ripping a heart out of someone's chest.
It does.
It's fucking
one of the
awesome.
most iconic scenes. I remember watching that as a kid.
And
it fucked me up.
It has
I'm
the
like,
best
how is he
intro,
doing
too.
this?
It has the best intro by far, the most famous. The one where The Rock comes down and all the natives are chasing after him.
He's running out, and then he gets surrounded by all of them after. Yeah, it's...
Some people say they don't like that one.
Well, some people are idiots. Some people just shouldn't.
That's my
comment
Indiana Jones. Though. I don't even know how they're keeping that man going at this point. Harrison Ford.
A lot of Adderall.
A lot of
Adderall.
It's most
He's every half an hour you hear the little sniff sniff.
He looks so angry all the time.
He
so
doesn't
mad.
look happy.
He's so mad.
He's
in the interviews. He's like,
I don't even want to be here.
I fucking hate making films. I hate acting. Do something else.
I'm just good at it.
I just want to fly. Just let me fly.
Well,
you're not good at that, Harrison. You're a much better actor than you are.
Why don't you stick to the screen? Maybe we'll put you in Top Gun.
This is a guy who thinks flying you can land anywhere that's flat.
That
this
is
guy
not
he
the
lands
case.
at
It
golf
is not
course.
true. You cannot do that.
No, FFA rules. They don't allow it. But I just want to bring it up. I love Indiana Jones, and he is getting ridiculously old to be a treasure hunter, especially 1950s where it takes place.
Mm-hmm.
No one's living past 65 back then. But this guy's still fighting people, swinging on branches. It's incredible.
Yep,
it's truly incredible. But,
it is.
Well, what else you got for me?
I got this. So Disney's live action Peter Pan. They're making it. I'm sure you've heard about it. If you haven't.
Yeah, I've heard.
Now you know.
No, I haven't. But how many fucking Peter Pans can we make?
A lot. As many as humanly possible.
Is there not a single creative idea left in fucking Hollywood?
No,
it's bananas.
If you want a creative idea, go and watch A24 films. Go and watch indie films. There is no creativity. We're just remaking and rehashing out all these old movies over and over and over. But you know what? It is the people's fault because we go and pay money to see these movies. That's why we keep doing it.
What was the last Peter Pan? Was it just called Pan?
It was just called Pan.
The one
and it was
with
it was from a different studio.
The one with Wolverine was in it. He played like Captain Hook or whatever. Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman. Yeah.
Now that was the one that upset because they hired all white people to play the natives.
Correct.
Correct. Yep. Remember, it was all white people.
Yeah. Jackass.
They didn't say what natives they were. They might be native to New England.
To Winchester.
Yeah, to wherever the whitest place on earth is. Maybe they're Norway. They're native Scandinavian. Yeah. But yeah, I remember there was a lot of heat on that one. But that one wasn't well received. No. It got bad reviews. And I did see it, and it was bad.
It was.
No one will ever do better than the Robin Williams Hook. Robin Williams.
I thought that one was fun.
It's the best. No one will ever do better than that.
I don't think so.
It's bizarre, but that's like one of my dad, who my dad is like, he's kind of like a more conservative. He's from Montana or whatever. He when I was a kid, he'd watch Hook constantly. Yeah, we had it on VHS.
Well, I remember
he
it
always wanted to watch
played
it.
on
yeah,
TV
he always
all the
wanted.
time.
He just loved that fucking movie. I've probably seen Hook 30 times, and I do love it. Yeah. That's one of my favorite Robin Williams movies. But give me some more news about this.
So they're making the live action, and they're eyeing two people to play one Captain Hook and Tinkerbell. Can you guess for Tinkerbell? Because I thought it was kind of on the nose. Hey, it makes complete sense. She's gorgeous, but
what is it going to be
Margot
like?
Robbie.
Oh.
Margot Robbie for Tinkerbell.
I hope
but
she
guess
doesn't
who for
do
Captain
it. I hope
Hook?
she
And I
doesn't do
really like this one for Captain Hook. Can you guess? Recently,
Older actor?
No, but he really made prevalence this year with
Younger actor, huh?
mid, 45, 50.
Okay. Man, made prevalence this year.
I mean, he's been well known forever, but it was like my movie of the year.
I can't remember what it was.
Joaquin Phoenix is who they're thinking about.
There's no way he's fucking doing it. No way.
You don't think so?
Nope.
To play Hook, if it's a little bit darker and more mysterious.
Pan was supposed to be darker. They've tried to do it dark. It doesn't work. It just I don't think, no. I don't think he'll do it. The story isn't going to be anything other than Peter Pan. We know the story of fucking Peter Pan.
Especially if Disney's doing it, it probably won't be that dark.
Yeah, it's not
You know
going to be
what I'm saying?
R-rated. I don't think he's not. I mean, it was such a stretch. People are assuming that he'll do all these mainstream things now that he did fucking Joker. When Joker was the least mainstream superhero movie you could have possibly fucking made. It was barely a superhero movie.
It wasn't a superhero movie at
No,
all.
it was more a movie just about mental
study,
health in
yeah.
New York. Then the guy just happened to be the Joker at the very end. Although, great movie. But I don't, people keep bringing him up about like doing Star Wars movies and stuff like that. I don't think he's...
No, Joaquin Phoenix is not doing a Star Wars movie. However, I'd love to see the boy Keanu Reeves be in a Star Wars
Absolutely.
film.
Well,
That would be
Keanu, he'll
beautiful.
do it. Yeah, he can do anything. He's Keanu Reeves. But Joaquin, I just don't see him. And that's a pretty young Hook, too, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Hook is supposed to be an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was the whole thing, is pirates grow up, so they become so.
Since we're talking about Disney, did you see their new 20th Century logo without Fox?
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, it looks fine.
It's like the OG. It's the original, like the 1930s
Mm-hmm.
one before Fox bought them out or whatever.
And Disney also, or rather Marvel, whatever, under the same banner, they just finished wrapping the Eternals.
Ooh, that's awesome. Look
Yeah.
forward to Eternals. I know everyone's talking about how Kumail Jumanji. Kumail Jumanji? I can't remember his last name.
It's pretty close, yeah.
But yeah, you see how he got fucking jacked for Eternals. Did you
Yeah,
see
he
it?
was looking thick,
shredded.
but a good thick.
Oh
like
yeah,
a,
dude.
a
Full, he had like
muscular.
an 8-pack when I saw him.
That's what, dude. I'm telling you, man. When they get these big movies,
Oh yeah.
they hire one or two.
But of
those
all the people in the world, that guy who literally plays a nerd in every role he gets.
and now he's like a jacked up
Just
superhero.
fucking yoked to the tits. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm excited for Eternals though. There hasn't been much talk about it.
The Oscars are this Sunday.
That's true.
They're this Sunday.
Big fucking night. No, and I say that sarcastically because honestly, who gives a fuck anymore? No Oscar host.
Of course not. Nope. Never to have an Oscar host ever again, because you can dig up anyone's Twitter at any time or whatever. Someone has said or done something wrong in their lives. I can guarantee
Yeah.
it. But we can't have that shit in Hollywood. You got to be squeaky clean.
How many
my
people?
guy.
How many people care anymore about the
I
Oscars?
don't know.
I watch them only because one, we do a movie podcast,
Right, that's true.
and I still think it's interesting to see all those famous people in one room together. But it's
And I got to be
it's
honest,
pretty
like,
much just
I do like awards.
them
just to
jerking
see
each
who
other
wins,
off.
but,
Yeah, it's just a big jerk off contest. Who can jerk off?
You know what
some
I'm
guy the
really,
most.
really starting to like a lot? If you go on Variety, their YouTube channel, they have actor roundtables and director roundtables. I know they've been doing it a little
Oh
while
yeah, I've
now,
seen it a
but
million times. Yeah,
it's really starting to pick up with like super high end celebrities.
They've
and
had
stuff.
people.
I love it.
They've always gone like the. Well, it's the Hollywood Reporter is the one I usually watch. Hollywood
Okay.
Reporter does.
The Hollywood
they
Reporter
do
does
the-
one too.
They do the one that every year around the Oscar time where they do screenwriters, they do actors, they do directors. It's awesome. They just did one with Martin Scorsese and a bunch of different directors. But yeah, those are always awesome. I'd rather watch that almost than the fucking Oscars.
Yeah.
because that's cool. You get inside stuff. But,
Did you ever see Hamilton? The play.
No, but I wanted to so bad. It's sold out.
that's-
It sold out in like 2 minutes when it came to Portland.
Well, you won't be able to see
I
it
don't-
on stage, but guess what, pal? You'll be able to see it
in theaters,
in theaters.
on screen, and
You're
I
right.
might even go see that.
Disney is releasing the original Broadway.
That's a
with
big
the
thing with the
original
original
cast.
cast. So it's got
Yep,
Lin
it's got
Manuel
everyone.
Miranda.
And it's coming out in 2021 in theaters.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big deal because this is like the biggest
Oh
Broadway
man, everyone.
production.
I wanted to see it
right
so
now.
bad when they were touring. I didn't get a chance to.
Well, I
Tickets
really
were
wanted to
insane.
too. Exactly, because like I was going to go when they went to Portland,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, $500 for the
Not
the
really
very
in the
last
name of
row.
Alexander Hamilton, who kind of spoke up for the poor people. Like, no, you gotta pay. And I remember they always gave away like 10 free tickets
Yes.
to like the riffraff to like people they picked up on, and then the other 1,000 seats you had to pay $500 for. So not really in the name of Alexander Hamilton, but still, yeah, I want to see it. I never got a chance. Will you go see it in theaters?
Me? Oh, absolutely.
I think
Yeah,
so
I want
too,
to see
yeah.
it bad. Yeah.
I've listened to the soundtrack multiple times. It's fucking
Phenomenal.
amazing. It is so good. Yeah, I would love to see that. But that's pretty cool, I think. I think that's kind of a good idea. to bring Broadway plays that people would never be able
Absolutely,
to see.
yeah, on stage.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
And I think maybe Broadway might be against, but even then, if I see something on the screen, even if I'm going to New York, I still would want to see it in purpose. So I think it's a win-win for.
It is a win-win.
Yeah.
Disney actually started doing that with like the Newsies, right?
Yeah, but it's always like a fandom event or whatever. Those weird things that you can never find.
But I mean, that was on Netflix for a while. Disney was putting Newsies. They did the full production, full Broadway show, and then they put it on Netflix under the Disney banner, which I thought was really cool. I enjoyed watching that. Even though I'd still, as you just said, go and see it in real life.
Yeah.
Like on the stage, it was still awesome to be able to watch it.
Yeah. That's how they should have done Cats. They should just did the Broadway show.
And that's it. It would have made so much more sense.
It would have made more money, I'm pretty
sure.
sure.
Much more money, yeah.
If they did a huge production, just like the best Broadway production ever of Cats, and just put it on the screen.
Cats still just
and still had all those actors just playing the parts in the play, it would have been so much more popular.
Dude, I'm still to this day, I'll be at work and I'll go, Rumpelstiltskin is a curious cat.
I did. I even fucking looked up a song a couple days ago on YouTube where I'm like, I gotta hear that song again.
So you can get it out of your head finally. It's just like it never goes away.
Those songs, some of those songs were decent. I mean,
I love the one.
They're famous for a reason.
Yeah,
I mean that's
Jennifer Hudson.
It's a reason why. Yeah,
the Moonlight song.
Yeah,
I
which
really
is the
like
most popular one. Yeah, but the movie was just so horrible.
Awful.
Didn't make it worth it at all.
So James Gunn came out and said no CGI costumes in the Suicide Squad, which is crazy.
Was it?
Because isn't there a shark?
King Shark?
Yeah, King Shark. So it's like, hold on, what do you mean they're
going to get an actual shark to play that part?
Practical effects, my guy.
I love
SFX?
it. I love that because you can do practical effects for that.
But, you really think so?
Oh, I have a giant...
For King Shark?
I have a giant animatronic shark head.
That'd be wild.
Make a rigging. Obviously have a huge guy play it, like a stunt guy that's like 6'9". There's a fucking million of them. A guy's always play the background.
Like a guy big like Dave Bautista.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to do. It's going to be one of those things where wearing that suit or whatever, it's going to be fucking difficult for that guy. But yeah, have a huge guy do it. Put King Shark, a giant animatronic that's not controlled by the actor, obviously. Mm-hmm. It won't happen. I mean, what he's saying, it might, but I'm guessing for King Shark, they're going to end up doing some, make him more human than Shark.
Right.
Because in the cartoon, he's has a shark head. He's a big shark body. So what I'm going to guess they're going to end up making him more realistic human. Like they did Croc.
Yeah. They
just made him have some weird skin.
Kinnaman said that Gunn's script as well is much more comedic than the original Suicide Squad. So it's going to be funnier.
Yeah, it was,
and that's James Gunn for you too, because there is a lot of awesome humor in Guardians of the Galaxy as well.
Yeah.
So it would only make sense. It seems fitting.
Yeah, it was just them trying to go way too dark, even with the Suicide Squad, which is a darker comic book. It doesn't work a lot of the time, but I'm excited for that, man. I'm a proponent for practical effects.
Oh, absolutely.
I love it.
We talk about it all the time. It's kind of funny. 2 or 3 different people were talking to me. They're like, man, you guys really hate CGI on that podcast. It's like, we don't hate CGI. It's just, we hate the overuse of it.
Yeah, it's become like a scapegoat or something. You can't do it CGI. It's, if the scene doesn't work, throw some fucking CGI in there and make it. It's overly used, I think. It was this thing in the early 90s and the early 2000s where you just sprinkled it in,
Yeah.
Now entire movies are based on CGI characters. So my biggest fucking fall, have you seen the new Harrison Ford trailer with the dog?
Yes, I have. Call of the Wild.
That dog does not talk. That dog does not dance. That dog does not shoot 3-pointers. He does not shoot soccer goals. He's not playing poker. Doesn't do a damn thing. And
still CGI. And it's like, oh, okay, that's a CGI dog.
Oh, they
didn't even try.
It's just and also I'll be thinking the entire time Harrison Ford talking to an invisible dog on set. Just sad as hell, my opinion.
Is. And
get
I
a
don't
dog.
understand why you'd rather
dog.
do a movie like that than something like Star Wars it just baffles me.
Oh, yeah.
It's just wild.
I saw that trailer at the start of, again, when I went to see Cats. And you
Yep,
knew cats
that's
was gonna
when
be
it
bad
was.
because they had like 5 of like the B-lister trailers.
Mhm.
And that movie came out, and oh my god! And it completely. That's what I'm talking about when I say I hate CGI. People say, "Why do you hate CGI?" That is what I'm fucking talking about when I hate CGI. If dogs could talk, they'd be fucking furious about this. Dog
Absolutely,
actors.
they would be pissed. They'd be like,
Yeah.
"Why aren't we using real dogs here?"
Yeah, we can't hire dogs anymore. You can't get 2
There's gotta be-
identical dogs. Come on.
There's got to be a puppy union somewhere.
Oh, there's definitely an actors animal guild for
Yeah,
sure,
for sure.
or something. Because those dogs are always treated the best, even since like the 30s.
I've worked with dogs on sets. Seriously, they are treated.
Yeah, because
I
you got
mean, you're not
Peter
allowed to
breathing
do
down, you got
any-
Peter breathing
yeah.
down your neck. But still, it's
They're
not.
treated like little royalty.
It's so
royalty
absolutely,
dogs.
and those dogs are trained so well too.
They are.
They're so smart, and they can easily do half the shit that the CGI dog is doing. It just
It
infuriates
is a little
me.
irritating. Yeah. Because it's like, you can't have a dog do that, sit and look.
He's not doing anything.
Cameras.
Fucking, he's not
No.
doing. Yeah, he's not a
and
space dog.
Well, it's like the stunts is what they're scared of when he's like on the water or whatever. But you
Then
can
CGI
CGI that
CGI
part.
the stunts.
Yeah.
That's my
That's it.
only. That's
If
my
it's
only
a dog,
thing.
just CGI the stunts.
The dog can do everything. He can do the
He can walk,
sleigh.
he
He
can
can
look, he
walk.
can
He can
bark.
look at you. He can sit. I can do that shit. I'll train a dog and do that.
It's
Just wild to me.
wi-
That's
yeah,
just
it's
wild to me. Yeah.
Crazy.
And I can't even believe Harrison Ford would fucking do something like that. Or I can believe it.
Did you
actually.
ever end up seeing Underwater?
I did go and see it.
You did. How'd you like it?
I just thought it was mediocre.
Yeah, but I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but I thought it was good.
Story sucked, but the scares were pretty good. That had a giant CGI monster in it again.
And I thought it looked good though.
I thought it
I
looked
thought the
alright.
CGI looked good.
I thought it looked
for the
alright for
monster.
sure. But
But the director came out. The reason why I bring that up, and he dropped a scale of all the biggest monsters in film, and this monster's way bigger, or not way bigger, but about a third bigger than Godzilla.
a third. Well, which Godzilla? Because there's no way this fucking monster.
The most famous Godzilla.
Well, he gets bigger in every one. Godzilla does. So the newest Godzilla.
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't seem that big to me.
It seemed real big.
Big, but Godzilla is he's touching the fucking atmosphere on his head.
Hey, all I'm saying is
He's
there's a picture
screaming.
here. Super Swift posted the picture. So I don't know scale wise, but it's supposed to be like a third.
It was a
bigger.
big monster, a big CGI monster at the very end. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of Black Widow talk. Are you excited for Black Widow? They just released that the game day trailer.
Yeah,
They released this new poster.
I don't think it looks bad. I think it could be a fun movie, but it's just not really on my radar for like, oh, I cannot wait for this. When does it come out? It's just one of those movies where I'm like, yeah,
I know.
I'll go see it.
It's got, which is weird because I'm not as excited as I should. I love David Harbour, love Rachel Weisz, Florence Pugh's killing it,
Yeah, and everything.
Scarlett Johansson. I mean,
It's got everyone.
but it's Black Widow is the problem. It's fucking Black Widow.
and she's
Out of
dead.
every superhero in the fucking universe, we get a Black Widow standalone movie. She doesn't even have powers. She's just sexy.
Yeah.
She's sexy as all hell.
She is. I will not.
She just
deny
hangs
that.
around with other sexy people. That's her power. And she's
guess
very
so.
likable. Yeah. But this is actual big news is I hear Tony Stark has a cameo.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is weird because this is...
Filmed after the fact.
Is it? I'm not sure.
Maybe it's not.
Actually,
Maybe
I think I heard it
wasn't.
was a year after the events
Endgame.
of Endgame. I don't know.
No, this isn't the year after Endgame because she died. Remember?
Or the year after the first
Whatever the
Avengers.
Avengers,
Whatever
yeah.
the first one was. Infinity War?
No, Infinity War. That was like the fourth Avengers
No, Infinity War was the first...
of the two movies.
Yes.
Oh,
That's what I'm
okay,
talking about.
yeah,
I think it's a
Infinity-
year after the snap.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? When they're all just hanging around, not really knowing what to do with each
Yeah,
other.
it's so weird
And
that they're
Hawkeye
kinda,
goes
like,
to Japan and
bouncing the
starts killing
timeline.
Asian people.
Why wouldn't they drop this and then drop that? That's so weird
I don't know.
to me.
Mason,
But
I
whatever.
don't. You're asking questions that
The
I'm
wrong
just-
person.
The pay scale. I'm not paid enough to know those kind of questions.
Oz Perkins, who directed the movie that's out right now, Gretel and Hansel. He said he really wants to take on Friday the 13th.
I heard that Gretel Hansel wasn't good. So, I mean, that's an
So the
odd...
guy's probably not going to take it. No one's going to give him
They're
that.
not going to give it to him. But, I mean, look what they've done with Friday the 13th. They don't really give a shit about that franchise anymore. So, they could definitely... Yeah, that Hansel and Gretel movie was kind of... I didn't see it, but the whole thing was kind of weird where it's like I didn't even know it was coming out. And then it was out. And then people were saying it wasn't very good. People were saying it was more... style over substance is what I heard. And that's another movie. How many times have they done fucking Hansel and Gretel?
Too many times.
Too many times.
It doesn't need to be done again. It doesn't.
They just did a newer one was the Witch Hunters
the witch
one.
hunt, yeah, where they went into the witch's
With
house.
Jeremy with Hawkeye, I'm pretty sure was Hans or Gretel, whatever the fuck those.
I have something interesting that I think you'll like. I know you love the Truman Show back in the day.
Of course,
Jim
the Truman
Carrey.
Show.
Well, he came out in an interview and he was talking about doing a sequel to the Truman Show. Now, this hasn't been picked up or anything like that.
Well,
but
people-
the idea of it, and it's a lot more bleak. It's a lot more depressing.
Well, people have talked about it since the Truman Show dropped that they could do a sequel of him and him
with social media and like YouTube and
Oh, well, I haven't heard
Twitter
about that,
and all
but-
that, but use that as like broadcasting yourself without even knowing. But you'd be like an internet sensation.
It'd be like him as an old man, or as an older guy after years of the Truman Show coming back and like wanting to be back on TV. I think he'd be separated pretty far from everything at that point.
Whoa, yeah.
Because I've always heard, because even at the very end, I always heard that someone wanted to do a movie of just like a character study of him and how he adapts to the world right after.
After
You
the
obviously can't
fact.
do that now because time is power and he's older now. But that always has really
That would've
interested
been-
me.
yeah, that
Just
would've
the
been
shock
intriguing.
of everything. Him going from that pristine, clean world where everything is looked after for
and
him.
everything's perfect. And
Everything's
everyone
perfect,
has
and-
a role to play.
And literally the entire world is built around him. So everyone is doing everything to make, and then him having that shock of going out and being like, no one gives a fuck about me.
In real life.
Yeah, I always thought that was but you obviously can't do that now. But that is an interesting concept of him kind of like missing it. Because you think he would after being pampered for all those years and whatnot. That'd be cool.
This is something pretty crazy. I was reading this and I was like, how are they going to pull this off? Doesn't really explain how, but they say they're going to make this happen. Disneyland, rather, they're coming out with the Marvel Land soon for Disneyland, California. It's going to open this summer. But they're saying that they're going to get a real life Spider-Man to swing through the Avengers campus up above.
Oh, they could do that, yeah.
I know, but that would be pretty cool to see if it looks realistic and you're there in person. You see Spider-Man, once every 20 minutes.
Do you remember the
coming across.
Spider-Man Broadway play? That was like the most expensive Broadway play ever.
I had never seen it. I never watched it.
No, you
rather.
never seen it because it never fucking came out. It got canceled. There were
okay.
so many injuries and people like because the
It
whole
makes
thing was
sense, though.
you're in a giant Broadway play and he's swinging back and forth and fighting people like above you, and it was the most. They had Bono and The Edge doing all the music for it.
Damn.
Yeah, and they did like two. You gotta watch. There's a short documentary on YouTube, but they did like 2.5 shows. And at one point, like during one of the shows, they canceled like midway.
Wow.
They're like, "This is not working. People are dying."
Holy
No one.
shit.
I don't think anyone died, but a guy was like falling on two people. It's a really funny story, but yeah, that's kind of
Spider-Man, the
that's what
music-
remind me of is because the entire thing was they had to invent all these new. So I'm thinking maybe they're just using because if you haven't gone to Disneyland in a while, Tinkerbell flies across above you during I'm guessing it's kind of the
that
same
is
thing.
true. Yeah, good point.
It's cool, no doubt, but I'm guessing it's very possible they have the technology for it.
Yeah, yeah, Tinkerbell's the only other Disney character to do something like that. So, we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't fucking fall and land on people like he did in the Spider-Man Broadway show.
Oh, did you see the whole Star Wars thing? The Project Luminous? It's like a very secretive thing that they're not going to announce until like the end of February.
I did not know.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay. Why
A
do
secret
I
thing,
care
even
about
though
this?
we know that,
And it's just called Luminous. Like, we don't know what the project is.
and we know that they're not making Star
We
Wars
know that
films.
they're not making Star Wars films. So it's like, what the hell could it be?
I have no idea. That's
I know.
interesting to me, though.
And there's no information on it. They say what this is it's the phase 2 of post Skywalker Sega.
That's fucking weird that Bob Iger came out and was like, okay, we're taking a break.
Uh-huh.
And then you get this.
And then you get the Project Luminous, and you're like, okay, we're taking a break, but then you guys are going to develop more things.
Luminous,
I'm all for
what
it.
could that be? It's Luminous is another word for light. Project light side of the Force.
Correct.
Let me break this down real fast.
Let's do it.
I'm doing some Rain Man math in
Okay,
my
let's
head.
see the Rain Man math.
It's gonna be about the light side of the Jedi of the Force, which is how creative is that? I don't know. Project Luminous. Who fucking knows?
Yeah.
It's gonna be some stupid like a 5-minute short or something like that. Something that a cartoon or something. I don't know. Project Luminous. That sounds. I got Fast and Furious news. For
Whoa,
you, Mason,
we got some
and
more Furious
news. I
You
almost
almost skipped
dropped
over this?
Well, I almost dropped it on our trailer reaction.
Oh,
Yeah, so we have a trailer reaction coming out.
we do.
Look forward to that. I
Which
don't
we
think it'll
were
be dropped by the
ecstatic
time this
for.
drops. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Vin Diesel said he's going to reward Fast and Furious fans
Really?
with the next Fast and Furious 10. He said, we're going to reward the fans. This is going to be such a big movie that everyone's going to be here. It's going to be the equivalent of the Avengers. 2 parts. Yep.
Do you know the closest bridge I can drive to
And
drive
yeah.
myself off?
It's a quarter mile, and then you'll be literally living your life a quarter mile at a time. Because right when you hit that quarter mile, I would launch yourself off a side of a fucking cliff if you can, and just detonate on it.
This is some of the most depressing news I've heard.
We will not be getting one Fast and Furious.
We're getting a 2-parter.
10, but we are getting a 2-parter. Fast and Furious Infinity War and Fast and Furious Endgame.
Okay.
What do you think
Wow.
about that? What's going on in
You know,
your mind
you know
right
what
now?
it reminds me of? It reminds me of that classic Nintendo 64 cruising game where like you hit the pedal twice and your car does a bunch of backflips and then it lands perfectly.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I think that's like what Fast and Furious has come to, where it's literally just like, oh yeah, our cars and we do crazy things. I mean, we literally just watched a trailer, unfortunately, today. And he runs into this stupid cable, and he hooks the car just fucking magically hooks to this cable, and he swings across a cannon greater than the size of the Great Canyon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What?
I don't know what the whole bit about rewarding your fans. You reward them every goddamn year with a fucking film.
God,
Isn't
I
that
know,
enough
dude.
for your fans? You're choking them to death with these goddamn franchises.
It's just wild. I cannot believe this is still a thing. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I can't believe they're allowing him to even come out and say things like that.
Yeah.
2 movies.
Shouldn't be allowed.
Fast and
Should
Furious
not
10.
be allowed.
There's been 10 movies. That's crazy.
I know you're going to be excited about this news, though. Well, maybe not. Maybe you don't give a shit. But Dune's movie logo surfaced.
What is it?
Did you see that? Dune?
Oh, I did not see it.
Yeah. So I'll show you a little picture. No one else can see it, though.
Oh, yeah. Very simple.
Very simple, but I like it.
Oh,
You know,
I
it's
love it.
not
I
too
love how
much.
all the letters are exactly the same.
Mhm.
They're just flipped around. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, we don't get a lot of, if we ever get Dune information, it's like the smallest.
It's a
fucking-
pebble of information.
Absolutely,
A little sliver
yeah.
of sand.
But yeah, I can't be more. That's got to be my most anticipated movie of the year.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
got to be Dune, right? But
And since we were on the case about Fast and Furious, the Expendables spin-off starring Jason Statham reportedly in development. So after the debacle of the Expendables 3 and it being PG-13 and it being awful, you had Stallone step away from it, say he was never going to make another one. But I guess now they're going to make another one.
well, he's not going to be in it though. It's a standalone.
Yeah, it's
right?
a standalone. Yeah.
Isn't he?
But he's still going to produce it.
Yeah, but doesn't Jason Statham play just the same character in all
Every he doesn't play any.
I'm not even
he
being
is
joking.
The
Isn't he
exact
just
same person?
Isn't he like not? Don't they just not even name him? I
No.
think they just call him Jason.
Jason. Don't even waste the,
They don't give
the
him
time with the
character
character
names,
name.
no.
You don't need to. He plays the exact same guy.
I wonder what that movie's gonna be like.
A lot of action, a lot of explosions, and probably
I
the
didn't-
Fast and
I
Furious
didn't
version of
hate-
action movie.
I didn't hate the first Expendables for what it was,
Mm-hmm.
which was off. I mean, which was just blatant. I mean, just a bunch of old guys, just doing what old guys are gonna do. punch guys. They're gonna do like 8 flips in the air because you got that old man strength.
Throat punches.
But
throat
then they
rips.
took that franchise to such a weird where they went PG-13.
Yeah, and we're like, why
you
did
literally
you
took
do
the
that?
one redeeming quality was that there was just a ton of fucking blood, and that
Mm.
was the only good thing about any of those films. And you took it away just so you could have
Ronda Rousey in it.
no, just so you could have Walker Texas Ranger make a 2-minute cameo.
'Cause he
appearance
doesn't do,
'cause he doesn't do R-rated.
R-rated films, yeah.
And his cameo sucks anyways.
I've never seen Expendables 3.
Don't.
I saw it was PG-13. I said I refuse to see this film.
I can't believe I've seen all of those movies.
That's just absolutely sad, Cash.
I'm not happy about where my life has taken me, but yeah, it's depressing for sure. But I got some pretty good news for me at least. But Mike Flanagan has cast his Midnight Mass, a new series coming to Netflix, new horror series, following his other series that hasn't been released yet, Bly Manor, the second installment of the Haunted Hill House, not a sequel.
When does that come out? Do you know? Blind Manor?
It's got to come out fucking soon, right?
Yeah, I'll look it up while you continue on.
Yeah, but this is not the release for Bly Manor. This is a release for a new series called Midnight Mass, and this is kind of cool because Mike Flanagan and fans of the podcast will know we're pretty good Mike Flanagan.
Yeah,
fans.
we are.
But he's
love
making
everything
this.
that he does with Stephen King.
He's making kind of a horror universe of his own. Because if you recall from the movie Hush, remember Hush?
Yep.
That was Mike Flanagan's earlier. There's a book that she's reading called Midnight Mass. And that book also is seen in Gerald's Game.
Yeah.
So now he's taking a book that was just a little Easter egg in his movie and making that book from the movie into a whole series of its own.
I like that.
Yeah. Oh, I like it too. It's very creative. But can you guess who's cast? Henry Thomas.
Of course he is. E.T. or Elliot himself, rather.
Yeah.
Yes.
Henry Thomas, who Mike Flanagan refuses to make a movie without him.
But everything they work on together is really good. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
People are probably wondering why we're laughing when we say Henry Thomas, but
well, we have a
he's
close
known around here.
Yeah, he's known around here. He's a close personal
He's
friend of
somewhat
the show.
an anti-villain around here. But yeah.
Oh gosh.
He's known to get behind the wheel to a few brewskis.
A couple brewskis. He likes to just have a couple drinks, take the edge
couple
off.
drinks and a drive. What's wrong with that?
You
Nothing
just
wrong,
add the
but,
two together. You know, it's basic math.
But it's a lot of other people from his too. Kate Seigel, who's right here, who's his wife, who was originally in Hush, and then
She's in Haunting a Hill House too.
she was also in Gerald's Game briefly.
Game, yep.
She played the mom. But yeah, so he's making a world into itself. You know, he's expanding. Like I kind of like it because he's like the second coming of Stephen King. Although it's kind of weird because he's getting his world into Stephen King's world with having Midnight Mass in Gerald's Game. But he's creating his own little world. I like when people do that. I love that Stephen King books are all related in one way or another.
Midnight Mass is going to have 7 episodes as well, too.
Yeah, so just
It's in
about
pre-production
as long as,
right now.
Yeah. Netflix got they hooked one with Mike Flanagan because this guy's a fucking hard worker. It seems like he does one thing after another. Because Bly Manor isn't even out yet. He just
Well, it's not even Blind Manor. It's still under the banner of Haunting of Hill House. And it says that there's 11 episodes of Haunting of Hill House, but one's in 2020. I'm trying to click on it.
It's definitely called The Haunting of Bly Manor. The first one was called Haunting Hill House, and this one's definitely called The Haunting of Bly. They might just be calling it the second season of Hill House.
Yeah, I can't.
But
I can't find it. Are you sure that's still in development?
Seigel and Thomas will also be working with Flanagan on the follow-up season to Hill House, The Haunting of Bly Manor, alongside
Bly
last
Manor.
season's
I
cast.
see. I was typing in Blind Manor.
Oh, you don't know how to spell.
No, I don't.
You're all
well,
thumbs.
to be fair, I thought it was a different word. Bly Manor.
Yeah, it's on there. It's definitely happening. I think they're done filming. I mean, I think it's ready to come out.
I wonder when it's going to be released, though. That's the thing. It's like, it entered production September 30th, 2019, expected to premiere sometime in 2020. So that's literally all we have on that, and that's probably all we'll ever have until Netflix just randomly decides to drop it.
Yeah.
Then we'll get that. So.
They'll just drop it one weekend. We
Speaking of
won't even
Netflix,
know. They don't do
laid
that as
off-
much as they used to.
May lay off up to 15 people. Restructuring. I know it's not that big of news.
How's that
but,
even news?
To their like marketing team because they're restructuring with like all this competition now.
15 people. That's
15 people.
I mean, it's unfortunate for those 15, but it could be a lot
Could
worse.
be a lot worse. They could fire hundreds.
That's yeah. I mean, that's sad for sure. But I mean, thank God it's not 1,500.
So this is the last piece of news I have. Lethal Weapon 5 is being made. Mel Gibson and Danny Glover are in this film.
Crazy.
And the original director is coming back to direct.
How
this
is
film.
Danny Glover? He was supposed to be retired in the first film. How is he still on the force? His
I
whole
have
thing
no
was
idea.
he's too old for that shit.
I know.
He said it in the
Well,
entire
and
movie.
Richard Donner's coming back to direct as well from the original. So they're bringing all the original people back.
Well, Mel Gibson, he'll pretty much look for any light in the tunnel at this point.
You know, and I think that's smart. Because, you know,
He will do any role as long as they're giving him roles.
he could
He's
have been
pretty happy about
blacklisted
it.
forever.
He should have been, to be honest with you. But yeah, because he did. But I've always liked Mel Gibson.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
and he makes good films too. I liked Hacksaw Ridge. I like Passion of the Christ.
He did not rape anyone. Which,
No,
we
he
live
did
in a
not.
world where we gotta take that as a thank God.
Thank God, one of these elite.
Yeah, one guy
People
did
in
not.
the-
One of my, although he did say some horribly racist, anti-Semitic.
Extremely offensive, anti-Semitic
Just did it
language was used.
although I think he might have even gotten a physical altercation with his wife as well. So there's not a big upside with Mel Gibson in
There-
that point of his life, but
There
people
are some
deserve second
demerits
chances.
next to his name. Yeah,
yeah, for sure. There's an asterisk.
but a lot of what he's done has been really good work.
Yes.
You know, at the same time. So
Just that portion of his life, he was
Yeah,
doing
just
not
doing-
doing
not
great,
doing
not
things,
doing the
no.
Lord's work for sure. But
after coming off Passion of the Christ, and then he's
yeah,
done some-
yeah,
wild times.
wild times. And I heard that was just a roller coaster with
gosh.
him on Passion of the Christ. I heard people,
Uh-huh.
this guy's kind of a fucking nuts.
Nut
This guy
job.
might think he's actually Jesus, but he hates Jewish people. So it's an
Doesn't
odd.
make
It's,
any sense. You
it's a weird conundrum he finds himself in. But I have one other news that shouldn't even be news, but I think it's important to me.
Oh, okay.
5 major studios, Disney, NBC Universal, Paramount, Sony, and Warner Brothers, have all inked new deals with Kodak, the film manufacturer said Wednesday, committing to buying undisclosed amounts of motion picture celluloid. So that means that the film
still
industry is
using
not
film,
dead.
yeah.
That this is actually a pretty big deal for Kodak, because if you don't know Kodak is like 50 people at this point. You know, they barely, they've moved away from selling film at all. It's mostly they license their name for stuff, but this is pretty big. I mean, that means that it's not going to be all just fucking digital. I like film, movies that are shot on film always look better, and you can always scale them up to like 10K.
Wasn't The Lighthouse shot on 35?
Yeah, I think 35 and all of Tarantino's stuff he always shoots on.
He always
fucking-
shoots film too. Yeah, you're right.
And then they adapt it from film to digital, which never looks good. But that's why you can go back to movies shot in 1930 and be like, wow, these films still look fucking crystal clear. Because it's shot on film and it can scale up. I like it more. I hope. But that's a big deal for film, at least in the end, because that's huge. Disney, Universal, Paramount. That's the big 5.
Yeah,
But so film is still alive.
it is.
For at least another. But what a stupid headline. It's pretty much film studios buy film. If you showed this to a guy
People are
30
gonna be
years ago, he'd be like,
Huh?
how the fuck is that a headline?
Yeah, why is this a headline?
You're going to tell me every time
Really
a
didn't have
studio
anything
buys
to
film?
write about. Yeah, and the Hollywood Reporter, out of all things.
Yeah, but I mean, it nowadays, though, it does make headlines.
does, yeah,
when
of
anyone
course.
shoots on film, it's a big fuck. This guy's shooting on 35 millimeter. It's a big deal. It makes headlines. Crazy.
Crazy stuff.
And it's expensive, too, to shoot on
is.
film. But it's cool that they all kind of got together and were like, got to save it. You got to, I mean, because Quentin Tarantino, man, he's got to have 800 fucking miles of film himself for one role. But, well, Mason, that's all I got for movie news.
That's all I have.
Anything
as well,
else?
Too.
We got through Fast and Furious news.
We did.
Got a little Star Wars news in there. We sprinkled everything we can.
We absolutely
Didn't get too political in this one,
No,
although
we
we did dive into a Mel Gibson rant.
Yep. Always got to have one of those.
It needs to be
It
said.
has to be done. It has to be done every so
We
often.
can't let him.
It's the cleansing
Yeah.
of the movie industry.
Yep, absolutely.
So, guys, if you haven't yet, please go and leave us a review on Apple, iTunes. If you listen to Apple Podcasts, be sure to give us a 5-star review there. Subscribe to our podcast. You can find it anywhere: Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Stitcher. Go check out our YouTube channel. It is slowly growing. Have you seen it? Type in "Have you seen it?" We're the Angry Popcorn in the director's chair. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, like our videos, comment below. Cash is on Twitter. That's just Cash. Our Twitter page is Seen It Podcast. Instagram, Have You Seen It? Facebook, Have You Seen It Podcast. My name is Mason Knight. That is Cash Krause over there. And until next time.
Adios.